Here we are, May 12th, the end of week 2 on the carnivore diet. I'm down another 4.5 pounds, right? So that's exciting. Puts me at 14 pounds lost over the past 2 weeks. So again, I feel really good about that. But I want to say it's not just about that number on the scale. I feel great. This has been super, super easy to stay on. Now, this past week, I did make a few changes, more conscious of from a nutrient standpoint, just thinking that I ought to have more diversity. Again, I'm not sure at all that that's true. And the more you read, the more I'm not sure. It looks like there's a lot of evidence that you don't need to do that. But in any event, I added a couple of servings of kippered herring, right? The herring stacks, little fish in the cans. I also added in some bacon. Again, like bacon, really? They say it's good, but I'm not going to add a whole lot of bacon in. I don't see that happening. I also added in some pork ribs. So still 100% animal based, still 100% carnivore. I'm still eating 3 eggs every morning. I'm using butter and ghee consistently, not just for the flavor, but because they help. From what I understand, what I've read, they help you feel full and keep your energy steady throughout the day. And I've certainly experienced that. I'm not sure what all of is the cause of it, but in any event, I haven't had any problems. The cravings are gone. Energy is smooth and consistent. Mentally, I feel focused and alert. I've never felt, well, I have way in the past. I felt dim-witted from my sleep apnea years and years ago, but I haven't felt that in a long time. But I do feel maybe a little more on my game than I have recently. So that's interesting. The other thing that's been very fascinating, in addition to posting these little videos online, keeping my little running diary of this stuff, I started mentioning to people at soccer games, or just people I meet in passing, when the opportunity kind of presented itself, when there's a conversation. Anyway, I mentioned the fact that I'm doing this carnivore diet. And the responses to that have been interesting. And I'm surprised at the number of people who have either been on this or know someone who has done this, and many with really good results, and many over a long period of time. I was at the butcher shop, and I mentioned this to the gal behind the counter, and she lit up, and she said, "Oh, my parents are on the carnivore diet." And then she went on and explained how her dad had been on it for 2 years, her mother about 1.5 years, and then her mom added in some vegetables, primarily fermented vegetables, sauerkraut, that kind of thing. But she still eats mostly meat and eggs. So I'm telling you, just hearing these stories from real people who have lived it, or in this case, her parents who have lived it, she says they're feeling better than they had felt in a long time. I was under the impression that they were older, probably my age, right? But in any event, it's just amazing when you start hearing from real people, not just some online voice, but real people who have been doing this and doing it for a prolonged period of time and are having great results. So anyway, I'm planning on keeping going, at least for now. I keep learning, and of course, I'll keep sharing what I'm learning and what I'm experiencing here. Anyway, we'll see where week 3 takes us, right? All right. I'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.